Gino Torretta, the Heisman Trophy winner, joins us on Thursdays, courtesy of the local 519 Plumbers Union. In football and in life, it's about being on the right team. Join the winning team at local 519 Plumbers Union, a proven path to a strong career. Visit plumbers519.com. Gino's on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Before we talk a little college football, I remind you the best place to get geared up is Caneswear in Davie, caneswear.com online. Gino, so Tuesday, we read that College Game Day on the campus. I don't know if you saw this. College Game Day on the campus this past Saturday was the second highest rated game day in the history of ESPN. And so I was saying to Crowder and Solana and Jimmy and some guests yesterday, what does that mean to you? Like, how do you read into that? The way that I read into it is that there is a national appetite for the University of Miami. When their football team is relevant, they still resonate across America.
I don't think there's any question. I think Miami, Florida, Florida State. You think about it, you know, when I was in school and a little before Chan, it was essentially the national championship went through this state. So I think nationally people think, okay, is this truly the time that maybe it does go through Miami and Florida State? We know it's not going to go through Gainesville after 24 yards of offense. But it's Hawk. It's nice of you to talk to me because you did go to the game. You knew I was at the game. You knew I was going early to the game.
I did
and
not.
Yet I see all kinds of posts and crap on social media, and you don't even come say hello. I'm right next to the QAM broadcast booth. I mean, I understand Channing, man. It's a Florida Gator thing, and you know what? He didn't want to talk to me. It's a Miami thing. But you, come on, man.
I did not know that you were going to be there other than in the broadcast arena because I knew you were doing the game nationally for Touchdown Radio. But all of a sudden at halftime, I think it was halftime, I see you out on the field and they're talking about
before the first and the second quarter. So you still had
I
three
saw
quarters
you at some
to
point
come say hello.
there. I couldn't get all the way up there. I was down in the lower bowl. I couldn't even get up to the club.
You couldn't get up there? Joe Z
there.
has half of section 114 come up during the game to say hello. Don Bailey has 120 come up.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. You know where they had me parked? They had me park at the bottom of a canal. My car's still down.
You got my phone? Like, text me. Like, I'm getting. Hey, I'm getting a statue. I think I could have worked it to get you up in the booth.
I don't know. I was stymied all night long, much like Florida's offense.
Hey, Gino,
it was a boring game.
If I left that box I was in, I probably would have gotten a fight because Canes fans, they were giving me pure hell. And I messed around and wore a Gators t-shirt too, so it was just. Yeah,
well, at least you wouldn't have been like that dude. I saw somebody, I think it was only a day, posted some Gator fan that was like he was probably like a 0.4 blood alcohol content standing next to the bathroom, just peeing on the wall. I was like, oh, Lord. Like how early and what do you have to drink to just think that that's a good idea? And then the whole time people are videoing, he's not even looking over, nothing, just.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was bad.
I got there about 6:45, 7, and there were guys that were 5'3" cussing me out. And I was like, do you know how this is going to end if I really get upset about this?
Well, they were saying, do you know how this is going to end on the football field? And you had no answer for that.
And that's why I didn't want to leave the box.
So Chan, when are they? Are you already courting Kiffin or when does Florida, because it seemed like all the Florida people were not a question of if, it was a question of when.
I might have text Lane Kiffin just to feel out what's going on, how's he feeling, if he's comfortable doing it. I'm hearing John Gruden a lot too, which I don't have a problem with. He just hadn't coached in so long. I don't know if Gruden would be a great college coach. I think he can coach, but I don't know about college.
I think Gruden would be a great coach. I think both of them are great coaches. I think it's just he hasn't done it in the college game. So I would say maybe there's more of a question mark. Obviously he's in Tampa, lives in Tampa, and he's a total football junkie. So he may have to get used to some other things that you have to deal with in college football nowadays. But when you're talking X's and O's, I think he'd be either one of those guys would be pretty darn good. But
Gino,
hopefully you guys keep Napier. He's building. He's building.
I vote for that.
I know why
I
you want
vote
us to
for
keep
that.
Napier. So y'all can whoop our ass every year.
Gino, did you have any sort of takeaway regarding Carson Beck's game? I think like the one thing that a lot of Canes fans were a little trepidatious about following the game was that Carson Beck didn't look fantastic how he had in previous games. In my opinion, I mean, the one interception was bad, but he just looked like somebody who understood the game plan. They were going to win it up front. He didn't have to force anything. They were going to grind out the game. But I wonder if you took anything else away from his performance.
I would say he looked very tentative. There was guys that were open, and he was inaccurate with the ball. He didn't throw checkdowns. Now I don't know what the deal was. Field conditions. I know it was wet and things like that. He threw 3 picks against them last year when he was a Georgia Bulldog. And, listen, sometimes that memory comes back and you don't want to take any risk. And I think he realized that. But man, he had 24 yards of offense and 1 first down in the first half, and it was still only 10-0. I mean, I was going crazy because I was like, man, end the game in the second quarter. Just be aggressive. When you guys were talking to OG yesterday about Miami Dolphins offense, it sounded like if you were just said, hey, I'm talking about Miami Hurricane offense, it seemed like the same thing, because at some point in time, like we used to always be, in Erickson, we're going to take a shot downfield. And I don't know if it was once a quarter, we're going to take a shot, because if that DB doesn't think you're going to try to run by him, they're just going to squat, and there's going to be no big plays. And Miami did not take a shot downfield. I mean, Shane Matthews was a couple boosts down, and, 2 old quarterbacks, and Shane and I were like, gee, many Christmas, boy, was that a boring game. Nope, neither team taking shots downfield, neither team aggressive with the ball. But I thought Beck was a little tentative. I think he realized how good his defense was and how lackluster the Florida offense was, and I think that he was probably just, he was tight. He just seemed like, I'm not going to make a mistake to risk this with my team. I mean, but Florida, man, they cut it to 6 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, that was a ball game. You get a turnover, ball squirts out, and it could have been a whole different deal. Now, it didn't work out like that. I just, to me, it's like, Notre Dame were up by 2 touchdowns, and we didn't step on their throat. Florida, 24 yards of offense in the first half, and we didn't step on the throat. That's the only thing.
That's
I would
a Mario
say,
thing, though,
said,
right?
Correct.
I mean, that's a Mario thing. That's kind of like he's happy to grind it out once they've got the lead.
Yeah, but grinding it out, when you got the lead, is not 2 scores. I mean, college football is 3-4 touchdowns. Okay, then do whatever you want. Play 4-corner offense. I mean, you go on the road to Tallahassee in a couple weeks. It's not going to be a situation where you can just grind it out from the start, because they have some explosive playmakers, and one guy slips out there. The game was too close for my liking as a Miami fan.
And Gino, as a broadcaster, I know you have to watch it all, but as a Canes fan as well, I am like Castellano. I'm very interested in this UVA game because, to your point, DJ Lagway is not as good as Castellano right now. And whatever Florida State can do, I think this game can be a little, I think the weather did affect the Canes' approach because it was raining. It was downpour. I was up there in the box hiding, but is he exceeding expectations? Because I didn't know he was this good. What was he at UCF and Boston College? He's impressing me right now.
He's a good player. He's an athlete. He can run around. He can spin it. And I think that as long as you're smart and fairly accurate with the ball in college, you can get the job done. And I think he's a good enough athlete. Feels comfortable in their offense. I think with Florida State this week. And this, midweek games suck. And midweek games suck worse when they're on the road for you, the road team, because all of a sudden they're Sunday, Monday, and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to try to get healthy. And it's like you're putting in the game plan Monday morning, and Wednesday you're getting ready to jump on a plane. There's not a lot of work. You got maybe 2 work days truly to get prepared for a team, and that's why I would say, Hawk, why the line's not bigger is road teams. It does. I can remember Texas A&M came here years ago and they were top 10, and it was a Thursday game, and they probably had a better roster than Miami. And people were like, oh, Texas A&M's going to come in and kill us. And I was like, dude, it's a Thursday game. I go, they just came off a big game. They don't have enough time to prepare. It's just not. It is what it is. And I think, but Florida State should have enough weapons to kind of dispose of Virginia. But they have had some problems with them in the past, and that's what people are thinking. But Castellano can play. Change with one thing with Lagway. One, apparently he should have had shoulder surgery after the bowl game last year, but his quote unquote camp decided against it. He doesn't practice in the spring. You get a lot better as a quarterback getting reps in the spring. Doesn't practice in the spring, doesn't practice in the fall. He somehow gets a hernia, and Shane said he pulled his calf muscle in a walkthrough. I mean, he was 250 pounds. That homeboy's thick. And thick and missing a lot of reps.
Yeah,
that's you get what he's producing. You get a guy that's inefficient and still's making mistakes of a young freshman quarterback.
Gino, to go back to a Thursday game, I'm still hungover from Saturday on Thursday.
Admittedly, not everyone
can
different
era.
Those
guys don't know what beers are. Nowadays, they're taking the collagen and the whatever with the creatine and all the protein supplements. I was with you. I was in Coconut Grove pouring pictures.
Yeah.
Gino Torretta is with us on Thursdays, courtesy of the local 519 Plumbers Union. With all the changes in how America does business, you can count on one thing: the union-trained plumbers of Local 519. Join a winning team today with Local 519 Plumbers Union, a proven path to a strong career. Visit plumbers519.com. You've had a long relationship with Plumbers 519, Gino, and someone suggested on the text line that Solana, with his brand new mustache, looks like he might fit in at the old union meeting. What do you think of what Solana's got working there?
The stash maybe, but I think when he showed up with those size 14 arms, that string coming out of his t-shirt, I think they may think, well, this obviously is a corporate guy and not a blue collar guy that's lifted some heavy machinery equipment, if you will, Hawk.
So he shows up at the union meeting. They're like, he's got the facial hair, but something's not adding up. Upper body. He kind of looks
like what was the guy's name? Was it Three's Company or Hawk? Our time, like the Three's Company, or the guy that would put the pack of cigarettes in his white t-shirt.
Oh, Schneider. Schneider from
like
One Day at a Time.
He was like the building super.
Yeah, you know what? Solana looks like a
tool
super
belt on. He's got a little Snyder in him. I think you got to put that up on your social. Find a picture of Snyder and say doppelganger for Solana.
He does look like Schneider. He does.
I don't think we need to put that up on our socials. I'm not sure.
Solana, you're not even old enough to know who Snyder is.
I mean, I could do a Mount Rushmore of supers, because you're going to have Schneider. You're going to have Bookman, of course, from Good Times.
Yep.
And the super, Joe Pesci, he was a super. Another they don't call building maintenance guys supers anymore, though, do they?
They don't.
I don't.
They don't. So. Hawk. I'm helping out Gulliver High School, their quarterbacks, because Wesley Carroll's son's a receiver, so he asked me to come help out. So I help out, and we had to go in the gymnasium, and the kids laughed at me for calling it the gymnasium. I go, I know your generation. All you guys do is like shorten the words down as short as possible, or use the first initial of like 5 or 6 of them. I was like,
they killed me last week and the week before for using town car as a reference.
Town car.
Who
says
town
yes,
cars
Gino, I love a town car.
Man, when you got a town car in New York, you could take a 6-hour nap in the back of that thing, and you'd be on the way to LaGuardia, just snoozing away in the back of a town
I
car.
love a Wes Carroll reference on the show, by the way. I love Wes Carroll. He's a good dude. Gino Torretta, he's with us on Thursdays. What game are you doing this weekend?
LSU Ole Miss. So
good
should be a big one. This has come down to the last possession the last few years. It should be a lot of offense. Little trip out to the Grove prior to check out the scenery and maybe sample some of the barbecue out there in
fine
Oxford.
offerings. Yeah.
What's that?
Feeling? The fine offerings, of course.
The fine offering. Well, you can't sample all of the fine. They're not all offerings. They're just scenery, if you will, Hawk.
If you see Lane Kiffin, tell him I love him.
I'll wear a shirt. I should get a sign and say Channing Crowder loves you. And like when he walks, I'll go down on the field. So when he comes on, when he's walking his dog on the field, leading the team, yes. I'll make sure he knows you're getting he's getting love from Florida.
Appreciate you, brother.
Gino Torretta, courtesy of the local 519 Plumbers Union. Visit plumbers519.com. Thank you, Gino.
All right, guys.